Going anywhere near a hungry hawk is straight up wishing for death if you're a smaller bird. But even though most birds understand this perfectly, some of them are dumb enough to make that exact same mistake, and they usually end up paying the highest price, which is exactly what we're about to see today. If you're someone who pays attention to the animal kingdom, you might have noticed how birds are actually among the most vicious and most brutal predators, especially when it comes to them preying on one another. What this sparrowhawk did is a great example of that. It was able to capture a pigeon, and it immediately started plucking its feathers and eating it alive. The pigeon was completely helpless against the bigger bird, but even though the hawk could have easily killed it, it chose to eat it while it was still alive, guaranteeing the maximum amount of pain for the poor pigeon. Having your food delivered to your doorstep, or into your living room in this case, is not something that happens often in the animal kingdom, but this falcon was surprised to find dinner ready when it arrived home, and it couldn't wait to devour it. A pigeon had flown into its nest to look for something to eat, and was unfortunate enough to stay there long enough for the falcon to return. The pigeon tried to fly away as soon as it spotted the falcon coming, but it was already too late. The falcon quickly pinned it down and began to eat it, eventually killing it. Another reason why hawks are so dangerous and terrifying is how much weight they can carry while flying, making them a real nightmare to land animals and also to parents who fear for their children's safety. This hawk was devouring a pigeon that it had caught on the volleyball field. But when whoever was filming approached, it carried its prey and flew away with it. This was a very small and very light prey, of course, nothing compared to a little child. But there's no doubt that some hawks are definitely capable of grabbing little children and flying away with them. Thinking that it was only trying to prey on its nestlings, this pigeon fought as best as it could when a hawk tried to invade its nest. The pigeon quickly realized that it was no match for the predator, and it decided to escape. As soon as the pigeon left, the hawk grabbed one of its nestlings and flew away with it, which allowed the terrified mother to return, hoping to take care of the ones who were left. But the hawk suddenly returned, as it wasn't trying to feed on the pigeon's nestlings, it was trying to evacuate it to claim it as its own. Something absolutely crazy happened here. Instead of a hawk invading a pigeon's nest and preying on it or preying on its chicks, it was the pigeon who flew into the hawk's nest, and the hawk couldn't believe its eyes for a moment. The pigeon went right in as if the hawk didn't exist, and only when it started looking for something to eat inside the nest did the hawk grab it and start attacking it. I'm not sure if the pigeon was exceptionally brave or exceptionally stupid, but I am positive that it was exceptionally lucky to be able to get away and live after what it had done. Two magpies were separately trying to help this wood pigeon escape by harassing the hawk that had captured it for some reason. The hawk did not want to release its meal to deal with the annoying magpies, and no matter how much the magpies tried, the hawk was able to keep them at bay without allowing the pigeon to escape. Finally, the magpies gave up trying, and the hawk got to enjoy its meal, slowly torturing the unfortunate pigeon while feeding on it. It must be a nightmare being a pigeon where hawks exist. This was yet another incident where a helpless pigeon was targeted by a hungry hawk. And the worst thing about these hunts is that the pigeons are never killed in a quick or merciful manner. They always end up getting absolutely tormented before they finally die. As soon as this pigeon sensed a hawk coming, it flew away, leaving its chicks in the nest all alone. The hawk was eager to begin feeding on the little birds, but it first wanted to make sure that they weren't going to cause it much trouble, and it decided to strangle them to death before beginning to feast on them. All while the camera recorded, The hawk strangled the two pigeons and then partially ate them before flying away with them to finish eating them in its nest and feed its hungry offspring. Twitching in pain is all that most pigeons seem to be able to do when they get caught by hungry hawks. And that's exactly what this poor bird did when a hawk captured it and began ruthlessly plucking its feathers. Hawk chases are my favorite, and this is definitely one of the most interesting ones to ever be recorded. The pigeon was an absolute master at maneuvering, but the hawk's determination made the chase all the more exciting. The hawk came very close to capturing the pigeon multiple times, but if there was something that this pigeon knew how to do, it was how to seamlessly change directions in under a second and keep its balance in the air. The chase lasted for longer than anticipated, and even though the pigeon was a very stubborn one, it was most likely going to fall captive to the hungry hawk in the end. These poor little robins had no idea what had just landed in their nest, and they thought that it was their mother. The hungry little birds immediately opened their mouths in anticipation of food, but what they didn't know was that they were the meal this time. Without warning, the hawk grabbed two of the baby birds and flew away with them. And we all know what happened next. Did you enjoy this video? Please let us know in the comments section down below. And don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. And please, turn on your notifications bell to get notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.